I got another video for y'all. This is talking about the hip hop artists performing at Trump's inauguration. If you hear keyboard clicks, I'm right next to my computer and I'm doing this in a different location. And I'm getting some work done on my computer where I'm just ranting and rambling. So excuse that, and I hope that y'all can still hear me. Anyway, so pretty much receiving backlash are Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soldier Boy, Rick Ross, just to name a few, if that's not all of them. And it's just for the simple fact that they performed at Trump's inauguration, which was today. I didn't watch it, not only out of disinterest, but just because I was asleep. I have a new gym schedule. I don't go in the morning anymore. I go in the middle of the night. It's real peaceful. Nobody's there. I just get my shit done and just going about my business. But yeah, so everyone is kind of getting onto them for this and, saying it's a bad look and they're sellouts and whatnot. But I mean, I watched a little bit. Like when I woke up, Willie D did an interview with Nelly, just kind of asking him about his decisions or his decision to do this and be a part of this. So I kind of I guess, heard his positioning, which Nelly's positioning was just like, hey, regardless of who the president was, I was always going to perform there. And it's just a once in a lifetime type thing to be performing at the presidential inauguration. Which I do understand, but the only reason why I feel like Nelly and I'll take these artists kind of one by one. The reason why I feel like Nelly is lying is because if that was the case, you really would have just left it at that. Like him and Willie D did like a hour interview. At first I seen the clip from TikTok, which had gotten banned, of course you guys know, and then got brought back. And it made me try to go towards YouTube or go to YouTube and look it up or whatnot. So yeah, if that was the case, I mean, Nelly would just say that. But in the interview, he started getting towards, some questionable things that Biden said that, I guess he feels the black community didn't check Biden about. And he pretty much got into hypocrisy, which is is there double standards and is there hypocrisy within, the presidential election and politics and whatnot? There definitely is. But if your whole thing was that you were going to perform regardless of who was the president, then none of that shit actually matters. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I said he's lying, and I feel like, in my personal opinion, that he supports Trump, which if you support Trump, that's fine. If you support Kamala, that's fine. To me, I don't really have enough time to be worried about what party celebrities are a part of and who they back. I really don't care that much. I just talk about hot topics on here, sports, anything, whatever you could think of. If you guys haven't gotten the vibe from, this channel, show reviews, movie reviews, whatever you could think of, I'm here. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, that's why I feel like he was lying. Because of course, I mean, I don't know Nelly personally, but it's just like, if you were going to perform regardless, then you could have just left it at that. Hey, I was going to perform if it was Kamala, if it was Trump, if it was Biden, whoever it was. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and if I received that opportunity, I was going to take it. So for him to even go in depth and be going back and forth with Willie D for an hour was very telling to me personally. I mean, if you disagree, that's fine. If you agree, that's fine as well. It is what it is. So that's Nelly. Snoop, man, in my opinion, Snoop supports Trump too as well. And people are like, oh yeah, it's all about money, and it's like, well, you can say that for the last two, and honestly, that's how I was gonna end the video, with being like, hey, well, Soulja Boy's broke. We already knew Soulja Boy was gonna take the bait. He can tell you whatever he wants, but I've listened to his past couple albums. He's not getting money from that. Not a knock to him, because Soulja Boy did set a certain precedent by going viral and making viral music, you know, when he first came in the door and shit. Like, I don't want to discredit his career, but like at this point, Soulja Boy is not. And I need y'all niggas to not be fooled. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all like to look on Instagram, and if a nigga posts money, you think that he has money. And it's like, well, that's not really how this shit works. You feel me? Like, it don't be misled. I mean, a lot of y'all who aren't familiar with the music industry, record deals and record labels and whatnot, you all think that all these motherfuckers are rich just because that's what they post and that's who they show themselves to be. But you guys have no idea. Like, I mean, record labels pretty much just pitch in advance. That's really just what it is. It's a loan. It's really just a loan. So a lot of these niggas ain't really rich. They gotta, they got the little shit that the label gave them. Oh, we need you to look how you say you look in your rap. So we'll give you a custom chain with a custom pendant and all this other bullshit. And the whole time these niggas be broke. But Soulja Boy, we already knew Soulja Boy was broke, so it doesn't really surprise me. And like, Soulja's not doing anything else. Like, he's like, man, first rapper with a video game. Nigga, that's just a DS. Like, I'm just so, like, I don't want y'all to think I'm hate, because I slick, like, now I'm listening to myself, and it's just me in this little venue spot that I'm making this shit in. And I slick sound like a hater, but I just genuinely mean, like, let's just be completely honest and completely candid on just what it is. Like, I don't like sitting pussyfooting around. I don't like lying. We don't have time for that. So I'm not hating. I'm just saying what it is. But he's like, man, first rapper with a video game, with his own video game, yoga. And it's like, well, that's pretty much just a DS. And niggas who got the video game said that shit don't even work. So I mean, it's pretty much like a little DS. The shit built like a Game Boy, and I guess I don't know how many games are able that you're able to play on there. I don't know if that nigga is only one game and it's a game about him. It's a Soulja Boy game. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. I have no idea. But what I will say is that we knew that nigga was broke. So by him taking that opportunity, it shouldn't surprise you guys, but I know it does. So yeah. Rick Ross is also, I don't know about Rick Ross's podcast. I'm not going to say Rick Ross is broke or not, because he has a French Montana type vibe. Not saying that French Montana is just the richest nigga that you ever knew. But I'm just saying, like, a French Montana type vibe is like, he just be on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, man, I didn't know French Montana was on this song. Wait, French Montana's produced this, or he did it? Like, French Montana and DJ Khaled and them niggas, like, I feel like they could never go broke, because they just be on shit that you either don't know that they was on, or just like they just be on every opportunity that you could think of. So I ain't gonna take the angle of Rick Ross is broke, but like, from the way that Rick Ross has lived his life and portrayed himself in his musical career, that nigga would do anything for money. Now, that I do believe. So Rick Ross is probably on the type time of, like, it's probably the same thing that Nelly said. And these are just my assumptions. Like I said, I don't know these people personally. I don't know. But I just assume that he feels the same way. And it's just, hey, this is an opportunity to not only get paid, but, like, to say to my kids or to my family member. And I'm not, like, justifying it. I'm not saying, like, it's okay or you shouldn't give them backlash. Of course, I really don't give a fuck if you do or don't. But I'm just saying, like, what my suspected reasoning that they did this was. So I think Rick Ross is on the same type time as Nelly. But lastly is Snoop Dogg. Now, Snoop specifically, I don't understand, and I wanted to save him for last to end the video off there. But it's just interesting, because not only these niggas be hypocrites, and I get it, a lot of people are hypocrites, but it's like, when they're in the music industry and where what they say is always recorded and it's always put out there, it's like, you probably would want to watch what you say, because you're held to more of a microscope. You're held under a microscope more than most people would be. Because I remember before, this year, whatnot, Snoop was like, man, like, who gonna be with, like, if you with him, you a coon. He said some shit like that. Like, he was just shaming whoever, like, fuck with Trump or whatever, who's gonna be the next coon that he has or some shit like that. And it's like for you to say that and then go do it, it's kind of like, I don't know, it just makes you look like even more of a lame ass nigga. Which like I'm not saying Snoop is a lame ass. I don't know like Snoop's history and if he's done like some lame shit or some flaw shit. I mean, I guess y'all can hit the comments with that, but I don't know. But to try to call niggas out for some shit like that and the whole time you doing the shit that does make you look cruddy as hell. Like you look mad trash, but it is what it is. But I also say like for Snoop, I don't understand because the same vibe that I was speaking on about French Montana and DJ Khaled and whatnot, bro, have y'all turned on a TV lately? Like that nigga Snoop is on whatever you can fucking think of. That nigga Snoop has no break in him. No break whatsoever. That nigga Snoop is in every commercial, on every show, like Snoop's gonna get that bag regardless. So I don't understand. Like you could say that he's probably taking it. You could probably attribute this to Nelly's reasoning as well. But I'm like, for Snoop, it's like, it's just interesting because it's like, I can't also speak on Nelly's pockets, but it's like, what have you seen? Nelly don't drop music no more, at least I don't think. And if he has, I haven't heard it. So what have you seen Nelly in? I expect, not gonna call Nelly a broke ass nigga because I think he has good money management. He just looks like the type nigga to be low key. Plus that nigga made a song about his Air Force Ones. You know what I'm saying? Like forces. Well, I come from back in the day before white people gentrified those. So I come from back in the day when forces was like 70 at best. Now they're still less than 100 unless, you know, you go to these websites and shit where they're trying to tax you and tell you that shit like 110. I'd still tell them niggas no, but that's up to y'all. So he just seemed like when it comes to finances, a low-key nigga for real. So I don't know. I ain't gonna call that nigga broke, but what I will say is that it's like for Snoop, in your case, it's like, nigga, you got a T-Mobile commercial, T-Mobile paying you. He did that little commercial with Kai Cenat, that T-Mobile commercial. He did another commercial. He on The Voice or X, I forget what that singing show is, where they turn the chairs around and shit like that. He doing that. He making child lullaby albums and shit, lullaby albums for children and shit. I'm like, nigga, your money is good. So out of the nigga who I'm probably most disappointed in, which I'm not disappointed in anybody, like I don't know what's going on in these niggas' pockets. I don't know if they support this nigga and they just scared to say they support. So I mean, they reasoning is whatever, but I'm like, if I was somebody who was upset and giving them backlash for this, I would be most upset at Snoop, not because I just think he's some super upstanding nigga. I would just look at this nigga like, I mean, nigga, you got money, so what the fuck? Like, what are you doing this for? Like, nigga, you got the most money out of all these niggas for real, and you still getting money. Like, what do we, like, you definitely don't need to be doing this shit. If anybody don't need to be doing it, nigga, it's you. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, y'all. If you guys feel away, I mean, I guess I understand. But I don't know why y'all be looking to, like, these people, I'll end the video off by saying this. Celebrities are not people who are meant to be worshipped. Like, within their craft, they should be. But as people get it mixed up because you see who this person is, you know, on interviews, and you see them doing like little fun shit or TikToks and shit, and then you get shit fucked up and you just think like this is such a solid motherfucker, and it's like you don't know these people personally, so they shouldn't be idolized. So when y'all come out and y'all be like, well, we're surprised, I'm like, well, none of these niggas was activists. Like, that before anything. Soulja Boy's never said anything about racial injustice. Rick Ross ain't never said shit about Black Lives Matter or Trayvon Martin or Breonna Taylor. Like, these niggas, they never even tried to make a stand for shit. So why are y'all so fucking surprised is more so my question, and it's more so what's losing me. None of these niggas ever portrayed themselves to be that type nigga to be doing that shit. So this doesn't surprise me. Also, like I said, you shouldn't be idolizing celebrities anyway. You should idolize them within their craft. But just as people, I don't know them as people. Snoop Dogg's a great artist, phenomenal artist. I don't know Snoop the person, so I can't say he's a solid nigga by what other niggas say, because I don't know other niggas' relationships with him. I don't know if he only cool to them, or I don't know what loyalty that he owes them. I'm not sure. So I can't say personally, but I know he can make some good ass music. I was never really a fan of Nelly's music, but you know, he has some hits that I like. I wasn't really a fan, not hating on Nelly. I just wasn't a fan of Nelly music because I didn't like the nursery rhyme rap. You know what I'm saying? 1 2 buckle my shoe type shit. I was never green eggs and ham type shit. Like, I really didn't fuck with it for that reason. But like Nelly got some songs I like. You know what I'm saying? And worldwide, motherfuckers, you know, fuck with Nelly for real. So it's like, Nelly the artist, generally is a good artist. If you ask nine people out of 10 will say he's a good artist. But as a person, we don't know him as a person. So I don't be surprised when these people be doing shit, because I be telling y'all we don't know them. That's why I don't be surprised when none of these people do shit. I just be like, oh, so-and-so. If it's something that pissed me off, I'd be like, oh, so-and-so did so-and-so. Okay, cool. And then I just move on, because I'd be like, well, I don't know them as a person, but I learned this about them. But I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. But definitely like and subscribe, share to artists, share to your friends.